And let's get straight to our top story tonight. It's the world's third largest army, and in the last few months it has faced deep crisis and controversy right from its leadership at the top. So last week, when news came in of an ugly brawl between officers and jawans in a unit posted in Ladakh, many wondered whether this serious incident was symptomatic of something much deeper. It was a clash that saw jawans and officers beating each other up, something that has rarely happened in the Indian Army, which is known for its discipline. The army probe has begun, and NDTV Sudhi Ranjan Sen now joins us with more on that. Sudhi, I know that the army initially in its statement dismissed this as an isolated act of indiscipline, but I understand you're also hearing that they are looking at exemplary punishment in this particular case.
Well, yes, Nidhi, that is the case. I mean, the army taking it very, very seriously. Although, I mean, at the same point of time, the Indian Army maintains that this is a one-off case. Now, what we are getting to hear from the Indian Army as to, how the entire thing happened, it seems that one of the JCOs or one of the, jawans entered a tent where the wife of an officer, officer of the rank of a major, was there, either having a shower or just relaxing. That seems to have upset the wife of the major, who complained. The major beat up the jawan, who fainted. Now, at that point of time, it seems he panicked, thinking that this man is dead. He went away. After some point of time, he came back, sent the jawan back to the army hospital there for treatment. But by that time, it seems there were some rumors that were floating around that the jawan had died. Now, when the other jawans came back, the men came back to the tents, they also got to hear that, the jawan is dead. It is at that point of time the altercation started. The men apparently took it up with the major. They beat him up. Other majors ganged up or came in support of the officer. There was an altercation. The CO of the unit, Colonel Kadam, who was, about 1.5 kilometers away, rushed in and also got embroiled in the fight. So this is how, the situation has panned out. This is what we are being told. Our court of inquiry is on, and we are being told that, this is exemplary action is going to be taken. Although the army still holds that this is a one-off case of indiscipline and cannot be taken to be, a reflection of the general health of the army. Nidhi.
All right, Sudhi, thanks for bringing us up to date on that story tonight. And that brings us to our first big debate this evening on that army brawl that took place in Ladakh, whether you believe it's symptomatic of a deeper problem in the Indian Army. We will be joined shortly by General V.P. Malik, the former Chief of Army Staff. Also joining us on the program tonight, we have Major General Satbir Singh, who's the Vice President of the All India Ex-Servicemen's Movement, who has overseen training and selection of Army officers. We have Major General G.D. Bakshi in the studio with us, Mr. K.C. Singh, who was a former Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs, and two defence analysts with us on the program tonight, Praveen Swami, Bureau Chief of the Hindu here in Delhi, and Sushant Sareen of the Institute for Defence Studies and Analysis. Major General Satbir Singh, let me ask you, how do you look at this particular issue and this incident that has taken place in Ladakh? Do you see it as a one-off, something that we shouldn't be too concerned about, or do you think it reflects a deeper problem?
Nidhi, first of all, I would like to say that this is one of an isolated case of indiscipline, and it should not be taken as a malaise which has set in the whole Indian Army. Well, having said that, I would say that Army, Air Force and Navy, all the three services have very well structured SOPs and procedures set in place to take action against any indiscipline. And I am sure the court of inquiry and follow-up action would be taken by the laid down procedures. I only humbly submit to everyone in the media that let's not rush to many stories being floated. Let the inquiry first come up, and thereafter actions as required would be taken by the army. I am sure that. Having said this also, I would like to say that yes, there is an introspection which needs to be done by the government, by the Ministry of Defence, as well as by the defence services. You know that today we have a shortage of over 14,000 officers, and almost 50% officers or less are posted in each unit. And the people being away on courses, duties, etc., there are hardly 1/3 or 1/4 officers available. Now, in case the leader has to perform, he has to have a finger on the pulse of his unit. There are 600 to 700 people. Secondly, in such high altitude areas where you are aware that 6 months if you stay there, the body itself, the doctors would say, the psychologists would say, since I am belonging to the selection system and also human resource management, I can say with authority that after 6 months, the body, all functions, do not see in the perspective as you would see sitting here in a cozy place on office of Delhi. So therefore, the men as well as the leaders, firstly, the shortages of it, the proper supervision as required ought to be there. Secondly, having stayed in such high altitude areas, such functions that the people get little jittery on issues, this incident has happened. It should be taken as an isolated incident and let the army take action as deemed fit.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.